way better access to the starter here now. Even though I was taking the oil tank out and these other two bars out, all the bolts were very loose. So whoever put this engine back in didn't tighten any of the bolts, and also the oil tank was completely dry. It had no oil in it. Should be able to get it out of the way now. Okay, starters are out of the way. Take a look inside.
I'm gonna park my car in the front.
So it looks like the flex plate is missing. There's nowhere that those gears will attach to. The left side is the engine side, the right side is the transmission side, and the dual mass flywheel is missing. So there's nothing really attaching the engine to the transmission, as a dual mass flywheel is missing. That means the starter is not going to be catching on to anything. So this only means one thing: the engine does have to come out because I have no other way to spin the engine. So that changes quite a few things. I have to take the engine out of this. I'm gonna have to do it on the ground over here because the hoist is tied up right now. I'm rebuilding a Mercedes engine over here. So the plan is to just lift the car up and start disassembling everything that allows me to take the engine out pretty much. Wheels, axles, rear bumper, muffler, and a few other things, and then I should be able to take this engine out. So I just lifted it up, and right off the bat I've noticed, let me just crawl down here, that someone previously has placed the jack or the hoist incorrectly, and this is punctured through. So I'm gonna have to get a new shield cover over here. And also this is the bottom of the engine. Everything is missing. There's no hoses. There's nothing attached. So this is, I'm gonna have to get all that as well. So the plan right now is just position the jack stands, and I'm just gonna be undoing the engine mount bolts here. Actually, they're supposed to be right here, right over here. It looks like there's no engine mount bolts on this side. I did see them on the other side, so before I let the jack down, I'm gonna take off the engine mount bolts and remove this cover, remove all covers, and start prepping to take the engine out. So the problem is this side is going to be super close to work on because it's so close to the wall. I'm just hoping I could get my gun in there to undo the wheels. Yeah, I can't get that wheel out, so I'm gonna have to move the whole car over just enough so that wheel comes out. I can't block this way because I do need it for daily services and other cars I work on. So this is gonna have to just move over just a bit, enough so it doesn't get in the way of anything else. Just moved it over, taking this tire out now, and I noticed, yeah, it's a big slash in it. There's no way this is gonna be holding air. So that's good news. At least the wheel looks like it's fine all around, no damage. So just a tire damage here. So I'm gonna take this bumper off. Looks like it might just be the bolts on the side that it's attached to. So whoever put this on didn't put any of the bolts on, attaching the bumper securely to the car. And like this, if I move this, it's just ready to come out. Yeah, look how rusty this screw is. No way I'm reusing this screw here. So everything I put back in, I'm going to use nice new bolts. This just keeps getting better and better. There's no harness for the bumper. There should be a wiring harness that connects to it. It looks like they just connected these parking sensors onto the bumper with a bunch of silicone. So this is not the way to do it. I'm gonna have to fix that as well. So this is actually a Huracan muffler. I thought it was a Gallardo muffler, but it's not. But it doesn't really line up. Almost lines up, but I'm not gonna use this anyway because this is broken here. I'm probably just gonna replace this with another aftermarket lighter setup because this, number one, takes up too much room, and number two, car sounds nicer with the aftermarket setup anyway. At least I think so. So I'm just gonna get rid of this guy and probably just chuck it out. So getting close to getting that muffler off. Just gotta get the rebar off now. Random fact for you guys. So Canadian models always have extra foam reinforcements behind the bumper and the rebar. I'm not sure why that is, but I guess for extra padding or impact absorption. But just a random fact for you guys. So the exhaust is off. Now we have to remove this bar. That means the wheel liners have to come off. The ECUs have to get unplugged. It doesn't look like there's much on this car because they put this engine in a big hurry and all the vacuum hoses and all the fuel lines obviously is not connected. So just have to do a little bit more, such as the axle shafts, and then hopefully we'll get this out. Taking off the liner now, and literally it's held in by one torque sturdy bolt. From what I can see, so let's see if it becomes. and 1 zip tie. So I've got the zip tie here. Mommy just came by to help me out. Okay, there's a little tight in here. Maybe I should give myself a little bit more room. Okay, there's 2 bolts on this side. Wow. And it's another torque 30. Okay, maybe there's 3. This one torque 30. Okay, there's 4. There's 4 out of 20 on this side, not bad.
I had at the time, I honestly don't remember, bro, but I had like thousands.
This is actually the transmission neutral cable. This actually runs to the inside with the little red lever. You pull it and then this basically pulls the cable here and the arm goes like this, making the transmission go into neutral. Why is this so hard to take out? Always put the screw back. Don't lose it. ECU is disconnected. This is the TCU sitting in this corner. Get a good pull on it. Oh, you just take the whole thing out. That works as well. What else is connected? Oh, there's more brown cable here. You really put this in a hurry. Even this screw was loose here. Okay, looks like majority of the things are disconnected. Just gotta work on this side. I'm gonna have to open this cover up. So this is a passenger side fuse box. This is how it's connected to the rest of the car, is through this harness. So we're basically disconnecting this harness that goes in here. So, because this comes out with the engine, it's part of the whole engine harness over here. Fuse diagram in here, if you guys ever wondered. Put that here for now. I'm gonna put that back on. Okay. What the hell is that? Anyway, the harness is now free. Actually, I lied. Almost free. Still connected to the ECU here. This guy is just. So this is just zip tied here. It's not connected to anything. What are you doing?
I just zoomed in quickly and zoomed out into your hand.
Almost done taking the harness out, so just a couple more wires. Looks like a wire going down here, and this one I believe runs all the way down to over there somewhere. So I'm gonna disconnect that and then pull that out, and then the harness should be complete. Then after that, I have clear access to the axles now. It's basically these multi-point bolts over here. Just have to spin the rotor over here and take them out one by one for both sides. All right, got my trusty towel set up here. Gotta lay underneath here. This is not where you said this. I'm laying on this. Man, I was just about to lay on this to go underneath, take this cover off, and you just took my towel. Excuse me. She's not moving, guys. So I think we're gonna have to work on something else. Manu has found a spot for her to nap in. Ironically, right where I need to work right now. So I'm just gonna move on and just make sure that everything is disconnected that I need to take off. Looks like everything is. I just gotta take that coolant reservoir bottle off. So I'll do that now, which is super simple. Just gotta take this coolant bottle off. And of course, even the coolant bottle has an Audi logo on it. Just in case if you forget that this car is an Lamborghini. The more space I have, the better it is to take the engine out because I don't want it hitting anything. Out. All right, Manu has allowed me to use a towel now. I'm able to lay down here, crawl underneath the car, and take the undercover off. All right, hopefully there's no mice when I take this cover off that drop on me. Okay, is that all the bolts? Okay, there's no mice. That's a good sign. Well, there's a crap load of spider webs here, so not a big deal. This is looking good. Noticing a bit of an oil leak there. Just gotta disconnect these hoses here. Other than that, just gonna go around, make sure nothing else is connected in the bottom here. Looks like they didn't connect much because there's supposed to be a bunch of coolant hoses connected over there, but they never connected that, and they never connected the AC lines either, so less work for me to do, which is fine because I'm doing this on the ground here. I'm doing the transmission mount now. I have a really complicated transmission mount setup. I don't know what this is. This is just like a little cover, part of rebar, I think, but this is not the transmission mount. This is just to make room to get to the transmission mount bolts. There it is. Probably wondering where I keep all the transmission bolts or any bolts that I take out. This is the answer. I just try to find random stuff around the shop. I'm just gonna label this transmission mount bolts. So a nice couple of transmission bolts. There's also 2 more transmission holding bolts here that I finally take out. So I'm just gonna take these guys out too. The transmission should be free. I should be able to lift it up here. Okay, just finished underneath. Gonna finally focus on taking that. So just noticed tail light. Why is this melted here? What about this side? This side seems okay. Yeah, I wonder why this melted. Inside it looks fine. Guess I'm probably gonna change it. Screws back in. Oh wow, why is it so loose? What's going on here?
Why?
Okay, either the bolt is loose or the sway bar link is completely gone. Pretty sure the way this car is going, that bolt is probably loose. So I'm just gonna tighten that one up. Anyway, bolts always back in. Excuse me, bolts always back in where they are. So number one, I don't lose them, and number two is because you don't want to mix and match bolts when you put everything back together. It just makes it a lot easier to find where things go. All right, so the sway bar is now free. Take the sway bar. Watch, Manu. You comfortable? Do you need anything? Are you good? Very close to taking the engine out now. I got all the harness out. Everything is disconnected, all the little hoses and pipes, ground wires, oil lines. So this is, I believe, ready to come out. The only thing remaining is I have to disconnect the axle bolts on the transmission, both sides here and there. And then I believe I should be able to just lift this out. I'm not actually gonna take this out. I'm just gonna leave it at a point where I figure out what to do with this engine. So I'm just gonna actually leave it in place over here. And then right after I'm done working on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the front over here, because gonna actually figure out where to cut the front frame and get this ready, because I do have the new front frame ordered on eBay and it's about to be here. So I just kind of want to prep this whole area as well. Just want to at least get one side of the car done. So the axle is just like a regular 12-point multi-point socket in there. Just want to see if it's tight or not. I'm expecting this to spin. Oh, what the hell? Wow. That was very, very loose. Like, I didn't even put any force into that, and it was just ready to come out. So I'm just gonna grab my electric ratchet, put this in the electric ratchet, and then try to back it off that way. Yeah, this guy was very loose. So let's move on to the next one. Just gonna turn the rotor over here. Hopefully that spins it. Not sure if this guy's gonna be loose too. I'll just try my electric ratchet on it. these aren't supposed to be this loose. If you were driving around with these bolts this loose, it will for sure, these guys will back up on you and the axle will come out as you're driving. So I'm gonna make sure when I reinstall this, I torque to spec properly. Let's see how the rest of them are. Let's turn the rotor again. Let's see if my electric ratchet can just back it off without. Last one. See if this shaft is free to move now. Yeah, this guy's up now. Alright, moving on to the next side. Don't know if those guys are going to be as loose. I actually don't mind them being loose on the removal part. Makes my job a little bit easier since they got to be taken out anyway. This whole car is just put back together with nonsense. But let's see how this side, if my little electric ratchet can break it loose on its own. Oh, the battery came loose. So this side is also loose. Let's see how loose this is. I am torque loading it on with my electric ratchet, but even then, they're not supposed to be this loose. Let's put the bolt back so I don't lose these guys. So this is the last one I'm taking out. They were all pretty much loose. They're all loose as fridge. Yeah, this guy was super loose. Like I said, I don't mind. I've actually decided to pull the engine out now. I'm too anxious to find out what it looks like, what the block looks like, and even if it spins or not. And I'm sure you guys are too, just curious to find out if this engine actually works and what that engine actually looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my little engine hoist and I'm gonna put it on. I put the chains on here and just ready to take out. I forgot to disconnect the pipe. I'm gonna have to lower the engine back down. Wasn't coming up because this pipe's still connected, but I don't really want to go under the car, detach it from down there, so I'm just gonna disconnect it from up here. It's a bolt right there. Unhook it and try to just feed it through as I lift the engine up. Okay, got the bolt out. Bring this pipe down now. How many bolts are there? Just take this guy away. Not sure how this is put on. Okay, let's take this shield cover out of the way. Make some room. Okay, I see a little bit better now. Yeah, it looks like it's only one bolt to this. Can I pull this down? No. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put a pry over here. Okay, so that line is being a complete asshole. I can't get it out, so just not gonna fight with it for too long. I'm gonna have to try to go underneath and try to take out the bolts. I really didn't want to do that, but it's kind of shady to go down there right now with the engine lifted a bit. But anyway, let's go. See if I could get a look at it. Okay. See it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can zoom on it. Come on, camera, focus. Let's go. Okay. That's the line that I'm trying to take off. Just have the light in place. Let me see if I could do it with one hand. Okay. There's this one bolt here. For there for now. Of course, the light moves right when I need it the most. All right, pull this line. I don't know if any oil is gonna come out of it. All right, I got the line disconnected, so hopefully this is it now. Okay, it does feel like it's coming out a lot smoother now than before. I'm gonna try to go up more. Pull back. All right, take a look if there's anything stopping it. Okay, it's a transmission neutral cable. Oh, there we go. There's a hole in the block right there. There's a hole right there. Yeah, perfect. That's what I wanted to see. Nice, good old Gallardo engine with the hole in the block over there. It's the only point of seeing if this engine spins or not. You know, I could probably try to make it spin from here, even though it's not fully out. I don't really have the room for it. I don't want to damage my car either. There's a car on the hoist. Wasn't planning to work on this car, taking the engine out. That's why I parked it on the side here so I could work on the front. But ends up being engine removal job. So perfect. Keeps getting better and better. So I'm gonna try to spin this engine and see if it even spins. Probably try to sell this engine because I don't know if someone else wants it, but I get some multi-point sockets here, put them on and just put a bar and try to spin it clockwise. Alright guys, I'm gonna try to spin that. Sorry, I really don't know how to mount the camera here. So what I've done, I've put 2 sockets there. Just gonna put a bar in the middle because there's no socket down there for me to a bolt, sorry, for me to put a socket on and turn it. So this is the way I have to do it. So I'm just gonna hold these 2 and just kind of turn. Hopefully this spins. Okay, so it's spinning. Okay, I spun a bit. I don't want to chew up those bolts because that's a good sign at least. It is spinning. That doesn't mean the engine is good. All I know that it's not completely locked up. So probably a potential ability to rebuild this engine. I don't know, but after seeing that, I'm probably not even gonna bother doing anything like that. Anyway, I'm gonna put this back down. I'm gonna go around and start working on the front. By the way, you can see closer now as to where the power steering pump sits, because this is a Gallardo engine. This is where the power steering pump. So the Huracan doesn't have this. It's completely, this just doesn't even there. It's just flat over here. All right, and well, so yeah, you can see the missing bolts. This was the transmission mates onto the engine, missing bolts there. And it's just, I'm guessing this engine is, even though it spins, it's not good because I also noticed there's no catalytic converters in here. This is where the cat sits, right here. This is where the cat is supposed to be. And there's nothing in there. There's no honeycomb material. There's nothing. So this engine's probably being beaten on really bad or hard. It probably had a really interesting life. Sorry guys, I'm not having some focus issues. But yeah, I mean, noticing that, it's safe bet is to probably just buy a new engine and just let this one go. I'm not gonna bother wasting my time trying to fix this. It's just, it is what it is. Just gonna try looking for another engine. This is the plan for the front. I'm gonna get rid of rebar in the front, get rid of this hood. This hood is probably fixable. I'm gonna take it out and drop it off to someone that I know who fixes carbon fiber. Maybe I could reuse this guy. I don't know, but for now I'm gonna take it off. And then I'm gonna remove all this crap in the front. And then I'm gonna see where to cut the frame. Or at least I cut a little bit for now and basically evaluate it more. One good thing about this actually is very super light. If this is broken, I'm not gonna throw anything out yet. Just in case I'm gonna need some parts. This, no idea where this goes. Oh, under shield in the front somewhere. Keep this. Oh. Stuff. So I'm gonna take this rebar off. Well, it's like multi-point bolts. Oh, okay. All right, just one side I gotta take out. Okay, definitely don't need to keep this. This is garbage. The bolts are so good. Okay, spoke too soon. This bolt is definitely not good. Throw it out. bolt looks okay. Still here good. AC line. You can see the damage now. So for now, until the new frame gets here, just to create room, and basically I don't want to do all the extra work, take all that out if I don't have to. I'm just waiting for the measurement specs to measure, basically to make sure that anything beyond this point and backwards is not twisted. For now, I am gonna just cut this exactly where it's broken from, just so I have room to work with and I can measure properly that way as well. So I'm just gonna get rid of whatever I can get rid of, move aside whatever I can move aside for now, and then basically cut where I need to cut. You can see this one's completely bent. It's supposed to be straight like this guy here, but this guy is broken from here, so that makes this completely useless too. The new frame I'm getting does come with this, but it does have to be welded on to the chassis over there. And when you're working with this kind of stuff, you have to be really careful not to crack the windshield. This windshield is good. I don't want to pay for a new one. They are super expensive. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing whatever I could remove and cut the front tub area out over here, because just to see, because it's really broken. The more I look at it, even this part back here just kind of wants to all come out. So I'm just gonna cut this out of the way and then assess the damage more behind it. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop here. I'm just gonna reevaluate everything about the engine and the front frame. I don't want to cut anything yet until the other frame gets here, because the more I look at it, it looks like the bottom part is okay and I don't have to cut that much. So basically, I'm gonna wait it out, and I'm gonna figure out what to do with that engine. I'm gonna start shopping around. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any comments, leave a comment. I'll try to reply whenever I can. It is busy here at the shop, but I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.